Good morning, afternoon, evening, but it's morning here. I've been up since a little before 8, which is great because that means I can take my eye drops at 8 o'clock. And then I can have them again at 2 and then 8 at night, which is perfect because Billy and I usually aren't in bed by usually around 10, unfortunately. Because if he works late, then he's got to stay up a little bit later because he's always like, I want to spend some time with you. I mean, when you're a wife that has to stay home, or you're a homemaker or a stay-at-home mom or whatever it might be, but for me, I don't have anybody here with me besides the dog and all of our animals and every little project that I do, which keeps me busy. But I think to myself, I am just without my husband as he is without me when it comes down to it. And, he's out of here at 5 in the morning. And most of the time he doesn't get back till after 5 in the afternoon. So there's a good 12 hours, 14 hours or so that we don't get to spend with each other. So our time when we are home is very important to us because you can't get that time back. And just remember that for anybody, time is precious. It is. So this morning I did that. We're under a severe winter storm watch right now. It's going to turn into a warning. So they're saying that, which isn't a big deal. I mean, they're saying that according to my phone, it's stating on the watch alert that it's severe. It's going to start between tomorrow afternoon, which is Wednesday, the 12th. Today is the 11th. And then go to the 13th on Thursday morning sometime. And they're saying that we could get significant amounts of snow, up to 8 inches, but when I watched News 8, which is our Michigan channel that we can watch, I watch it on YouTube. Now they're saying we're going to have a minimum of 8 inches, and we could have up to 10 or more depending on where it is. And then for Saturday and Sunday and Monday that I seen, that they're stating that we have a lake effect storm coming in, that we will get some more snow amounts. And then from Monday all the way through the following till that next Tuesday, which is bringing it up to the day that the girls are supposed to kid, Scarlett and Cal, which is the 18th, they show a 50% chance of snow then, and the daytime is only like, I want to say 20 or so for the high. I seen one day high is supposed to be 13. We have a lot of single digits at night for a few of those days. Not very high at night, not very high temperature during the day, and then single digits at night. And then remember, we've got bunnies due too around that same time. But right now, the bunnies are getting their boxes prepared and ready. I think most of them that have prepared are done with making their boxes. They're ready, to be good and go ahead and have their babies when it's time. I'm going out to do chores right now, so I want to check on everybody, get everybody fed and watered. I got to get the boards and put those up for the 2 places that I need some boards, because I don't want snow just packing inside the cage and weighing it down too, because we already have to watch taking snow off the shed and then taking snow off the tops of the rabbit cages too, so they don't get weighed down. We have to do that. And it's not that it's a big deal. I mean, you have to do it or stuff's going to cave in, and then you could have dead bunnies and stuff, and we don't want that. We already deal with enough, as it is. I really feel bad for Miss Pumpkin because she lost her whole entire litter, 7 bunnies, and I could see she's pretty like wanting to know where they are and stuff, but she'll get over it, and I'll just breed her again, and hopefully this don't happen again. This is the first time that her litter has actually died like this. She has taken care of her other litter because I've got a doe from her first litter, which is Miss PS, and she was not a bloat baby. She didn't have bloat at all. That litter never had bloat, so I'm not sure why this litter did. Besides, Pumpkin was from a litter out of Haley. She's from Haley, and Haley had a litter that Pumpkin was in that did have bloat, but Pumpkin was not one that had the bloat. It was just her litter mates were. And then Pumpkin also is a litter mate to is it Belle? No, Belle's from Prince. I'm trying to think. I have another one from Haley. It's Hannah. Hannah and Pumpkin were out of the same litter too, and neither one of them had bloat. I think I lost one from that litter she did have of 9 that did have bloat. But other than that, I didn't deal with it. So I'm not sure what the heck's going on. It is what it is. But I'm going to get you guys. The sun's trying to peek out. It's wonderful. So we're going to go outside and see what we can get into. So join me. Stay tuned. She acts like she's going to jump up there. She chewed on my massager that goes on my chair. I was pretty mad at her for it. Chewed the wire right up. You better, I don't know what you guys think it's up there, but you better stay down. He's a pain in the butt. Good morning, welcome back. It's the next day. Today is the 11th, I think. No, it's the 12th, sorry. I got my days mixed up. I just finished my tea for my eyes, and then ate me a bowl of cereal and had a banana too, which is good first thing in the morning before you head out to do chores. And then I actually sewed the rest of the sides up on the blanket, and I got it over on my rocking chair that I keep outside. We bring it in so it doesn't get in the way of being outside on the porch and everything. So I'm pretty proud of that. I've got my other hides sitting right here, soaking for their second soak. They soaked for over 24 hours while I was sewing the sides up. I told myself yesterday that was going to be a goal of mine, that I was going to get the sides of that blanket sewed up so then it would be finished. And then Billy had his CPR class yesterday, and then he ended up coming home right after it. So he was here probably about 1:30 or so, I'm thinking. So he came in, and I was starting the second to the last side. So I only had the one side, and then the next pelt that was attached to that one, I had to just sew those 2 left, and that's all I had left for it of that day. But he came in and he's like, there's my wife over there sewing away. And I said, yeah. And I had just started that next portion of there, which I only had one more to do. And I only got about maybe 2.5, 3 inches of it sewed in before he got there, got inside, and he told me, he says, well, what do you got for me to eat? And I said, well, I'm going to be making us for dinner, which you're looking at another 5 hours or so before I'm going to start dinner. Some salmon patties, and then there was some organic mac and cheese for Billy, and then some gluten-free mac and cheese for me. And then I made us 2 crown heads of broccoli steamed. And we've got leftovers, obviously, so that's what we're having today. So I don't have to actually cook, I just have to heat it up, which is yay to me. I actually don't mind eating leftovers because that means I don't have to cook. So my goal today was to finish that up, which I did that while while my pot of water was heating up. I let Brutus out. I was up at 7:30, but then I decided, well, Lord, just let me sleep another half an hour and wake up around 8. I did. I woke up at 4 after, ended up doing my eye drops, got up, got dressed, did all the things you're supposed to do, brush your teeth. I took my pills, came out, and then let Brutus out, turned my pot on, came in and started sewing the last 2 sections, and I ended up getting that done. Well, actually, I only had one more section because when we came back yesterday, we ended up running to the store. We had to water everybody, so Billy wanted to get everybody watered and tipped off, and that ended up being till like 2:30 or so, I think, or almost 3 o'clock. And then we went to the store and picked up, we had to get some more food for the dogs, and because we feed them chicken and rabbits, and we don't have any more rabbits for them to be eating. They've already went through all those that we had. We only butchered 10, and then we ended up butchering the other 2 bucks, which I kept for us. Just so we would have some rabbit meat, because we have a while before any of these other rabbits are going to be ready to be butchered and put into the freezer. So we went and got them some stuff, ended up getting a few more things that we could need. And Billy's always concerned about me not having enough lunch stuff here. He's a great man, he really is. But there's sometimes, like, I tell him that I'm just not hungry when I get up. And he's always like, you should eat before you go out and do chores because you're going to deplete whatever you still had. And I tried telling him, like, I can weigh myself at night before I go to bed, which is all the stuff I have ate during the day. Wake up and I'm about 4 or 5 pounds less than what I was when I weighed myself the night before. And I could wake up and weigh myself again that morning. And I usually lose between 4 and 5 pounds. And I told him, I said, it's because I have to eat very lean. I'm pretty lean myself. I can't do any wheat. I really got to watch what corn I use because, like, my cereal right now has cornstarch in it. But it's a gluten-free, so I know it doesn't have any, like the biomechanical type stuff that was growth hormones or anything like that. But the corn still does do a little bit irritating. I noticed that my knuckles, to actually make a fist, that they tend to be a little achy. And I'm used to, so far for the last 1.5 years, not really having any pain at all in my joints. But I did have occasionally where I did have some pain off and on, and I was trying to trigger that out, like, what is causing this? And I figured out that it was corn. So I can't do wheat, I can't do corn. Well, I could do, like, small amounts of corn, but I'm telling you, like, give me an hour or so and my fingers are going to hurt from eating that bowl of cereal. But I ate half of what I normally eat in the cereal, because usually I eat about 3 cups. This time I only ate maybe 1.5 cups. And we've been doing grass-fed cow's milk, which is quite expensive. Billy don't like anything in plastic, so we've been getting it in like a cardboard container, that's not that. He either wants glass or that. And obviously, like, the stores around here don't sell anything in glass, so as soon as the girls start milking, we're gonna stop buying milk, and then we'll have their milk for us here, which will be a lot better for us. And I really am sorry to those that are gonna be sad that we're using our goats for meat too, but like I said, it's just not financially right for us to go out and start a whole new herd of meat goats, boars, just to raise for meat goats when we already have goats. And I only say this because we financially can't afford it. And I don't financially think that it'd be wise to go ahead and do that when we already have the goats, to be able to say that this is what we want for our family and our animals. So I'm just going to keep a few does each year to help produce more goats that we could use for meat every year from here on out, and still keep my herd small, because I'm really concentrating on having everything that we can do here for us, for meat, milk, cheese, veggies, fruit, everything that we can grow and do for ourselves here on our homestead is the most important. And that is serious goals for this year, to be more self-sufficient, to have to not rely on the store as much, and just to go pacifically through what we have here on our farm. So this is something that I'm pretty happy and sure that this is what we're going to do. We still have to get some areas cleaned up and fenced in so we can raise our own turkey. We are planning to do our own turkeys, and we want to have a tom and a couple of hens that they can produce their own turkeys for us every year, set on a nest and produce some babies. We want to raise some meat birds specifically for the dogs. I think that I would probably want the wings and maybe some breast from those chickens, but we will see. Like I told Billy, I said, I don't know if we want to do the Cornish crosses again, because they are genetically produced to grow fast, and a bird's not supposed to grow like super fast. But the Land Rovers, Rangers, I think is what they're called, Red Rangers. We raised those one time, and Billy didn't like the taste of them. I couldn't really tell. They just weren't quite as big and bulky as obviously the Cornish crosses, but Billy really likes the Cornish crosses. And he's like, we just won't let them get as big as they are, because as soon as they get to where they're about 8 or 9 pounds, they start dying because they have heart attacks. I mean, you'll go out and you'll have 3 or 4 of them dead. You go out the next day and you'll have 3 or 4 more dead, and before you know it, you're losing half your rabbit or your chickens. And it's very hard to have to go and say you're paying $4 or $5 a chick. Then you're trying to raise these up and they're almost ready to be butchered. And then you got to schedule it, because we don't butcher our own chickens here. We have to schedule it, and then you got to wait for the appointment, and then you're losing half your chickens. So I don't know when it comes to that how we're going to have to deal with that, but I do know that Billy wants to raise some chickens. And I said if we can get to the point where we are being able to raise rabbits and rotate rabbit, chicken, and goat meat, for say, because goat is a lot like deer, and both Billy and I, we like deer, and I've had goat before, and I think goat tastes just like deer. But how I want the goats to be processed is that we'll have back straps for us, and then I want most of the legs and shoulders and the rest of it. I want to do the flank steaks. I do want those for us. And then the rest I want either put into stew meat or ground. And that will be mainly for the dogs, and we can use a little bit for like burger and stuff. If we can get away from paying the butcher box, that's where I'm trying to look at this. You know, if we can get away from having to pay for the butcher box by raising goats and having our own meat. I even thought too that maybe we should grab us a calf, because I'm going to have all this milk from the goats and I don't want to be wasting anything. So I really want to try to figure out where I can try to utilize everything that we're having so there is no waste, and just, you know, just to try to make sure that we're doing everything correctly under God's visions, and knowing that, you know, He put us here at this property for us to make it our own. And we know that since we've been here, be 5 years in June, that it has taken us quite a while to get to where we are now. Those who have been with us since day one, you know, from 2018 when I created this channel, knows the struggles and everything that we have gone through to actually get to where we are today. And I would have to say that I feel like God has pushed us. He's opened doors for us. He's closed doors. And we actually have gone through the right doors and following that narrow path that we're supposed to be doing. And this is what we ended up with. Now, the storm that came through last year, all the tornadoes that we had in 2024 in the state of Michigan, we don't ever have tornadoes like that. Not ever. We've had occasional one or two that have been pretty significant, but you're talking many, many years ago. And having that one storm that came, we've had storms that blew some trees over, but never really near anything. And then when this storm came through on Father's Day evening, and took down some big trees behind our house here, I can see there's still standing, some of them, but they have no tops on them because the tops ended up coming down on top of the house. And that was a significant deal, and we're still, you know, not having the house finished, but at least we have insulation now, and it's a lot warmer in here. So if this is how we have to sit for another half year, so we're okay with that. It's fine. The house is livable. It's just not how it should be. And we're still dealing with not a whole lot of light, because obviously they've got to put in the lighting systems, and we're still dealing with just some plug-in stuff where you got to unplug it and then plug it back in. But it's okay. But other than that, I mean, I feel like we're doing great here. And I just wanted to give you guys that update. So I need to get around and go out and do my chores. Actually, when I went out yesterday, I noticed that Mabel's cage was wide open. I'm not sure what had happened, because like I told Billy, I was like, I make double sure, triple sure that my cages are shut. Like I pull on them and make sure. So I'm not sure what happened there. Obviously, it didn't get latched like it was supposed to be, but I couldn't find her at all. She's pregnant, and I didn't see her. I looked everywhere, but like I told Billy, I said I think a fox or a coyote got her, because on Samson's pin, his wire was pushed in. I had to kind of fix that. I said, I don't know if that's what happened. And when he got home, he says, your bunny is out underneath the middle hutch. I said, you actually seen her? And he said, yeah. So we went out to catch her, and it took about less than 10 minutes. Billy had her caught. She's very friendly, so she was very curious about the butterfly catcher that we use to catch bunnies with, the little net. Only her head and part of her shoulders would fit in it because she's so big. But Billy got her, and we put her back in, so Um, so far, I think out of all my rabbits, so far, everyone but maybe two won't end up having babies, and I'm really, or one at least, but I don't know. We'll see. It's just next week. We've got goats due next week, and we got rabbits due the same day, so we're gonna see how many animals that we end up getting on our homestead this month. It's a it's a beautiful day. They turned our winter snowstorm into a weather advisory from severe to moderate. And this is supposed to come today around 1. And it's supposed to be a wintry mix. Now, the channel that I watch says we're supposed to get strictly snow, so I'm not sure. We might get some sleet. There's talking about some freezing rain up to 1/10 of an inch, and then we're supposed to get between 5 and 8 inches of snow, so we'll see what we end up getting. And then this weekend, we have a lake effect band for Saturday, Sunday, Monday for sure, and then they call for snow for the rest of the next 7 days that I can see, percentage chances of 50% or more, so we should be covered in snow again, and it's okay. I actually was thinking about starting some seeds, but I need soil, so I'm not sure what I'll maybe just order some off of Amazon and have it delivered and just go from there and then start some seeds, but we'll do a video on that too. So I want to thank everybody for being here today, for viewing our videos. Thank you to everybody. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Till next time. God bless you all.